everybody. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this put up over here. It's going to actually rain soon, so I'm not even bothering doing a sunset. I did work a tiny bit today. I have to wait for the... I'll explain that in a second. Hold on 1 second. Alrighty, let's see. Explain in a second. Hold on. We don't want that on that. Anyways, so... Hello everybody, my name's Nick. If you don't know, I'm a homeless type 1 diabetic. I live in my van in Sarasota, Florida. So today I did go down and I worked at the other thing. It was only a short day today because we have to wait for the plumber now because they just got a leak in the wall. So before I paint the wall and all that, they got to figure out if they're going to damage the wall when they fix the leak. But I have to go back there tomorrow and do some more sanding, and I did a little bit of mudding today, so I have to wait till that dries and go over and sand it tomorrow. I only worked an hour today, just because we ran into the plumbing issue that happened last night apparently at some point in a different area that weren't working at all, but now we're going to have to work in. So it was a shorter day, but hey, you know what, 25 bucks, 25 bucks, and I'll take it. These people are really nice. I like working for this gentleman. He's got quite a bit of work coming up, so I'm pretty excited about that. My diabetes has been just absolutely insanely horrible though, so got to start working better on my health. But I made enough to eat today, so I'm a happy man. Within the next few days I should have enough money saved up for the insurance. Gas just went up to $4.30 a gallon. I spent $100 just filling up the tank, and that's becoming an issue. And that was before it went up 30 cents a gallon, so I'm hoping it goes back down by the time I need gas again. I don't know how much more I can take on the fuel costs being homeless in the van. I got to keep on the move, so it's getting expensive. I mean, I get why they're up, and I'm not going to get into that or nothing, but it's just crazy how high they're getting. But I pretty much have work for the rest of the week every day, even if it's just a few hours here and there on some of them. But it's something, Every day that I make money is another day I don't have stress, and can hopefully slowly get out of the situation. It's gonna rain soon, so I don't think we're gonna get a sunset. It might actually, but we're supposed to get a pretty bad storm later on, so I wasn't sure, and I wanted to save the fuel. Like I said, fuel's getting pretty expensive. So I'm at the Wawa's right now, which is right next to the store to the funeral home. That's why we are looking at a hearse. But figured I'd keep it on the skies in case while we're live it does end up storming. But might get kind of serious, kind of bad storms tonight. So those are always pretty fun to watch. I'm not sure I'll be alive when they happen. I don't know what time it's supposed to start storming, but I don't even know which way the clouds are moving. They're moving so slow. But it's just another day, and I've got to continue to focus, and this week is more about getting caught up on food and getting everything taken care of, like insurance and all that, so I have a good month to where I can. Next step is getting the van worked on, which like I said, I need to get brakes on this thing, turning signals, and an oil change. Keep maintenance on that, and then after I get all that done, then I can finally start saving for a boat to live on. It's going to take a while to get there, but I'm going to get there, and it's I figure by June I'm hoping to at least have maybe a down deposit if somebody work payments with me, and then I won't be living in this van anymore. I can actually cook and shower and not be disgusting all the time. I've got to do laundry again soon too. I would have make time to do that this weekend. Although this weekend I think I'm working over there at the research facility that I've been at. It's a really nice place, and it's good for my resume to have this underneath my belt, because it's a very high-end building, beautiful building. I'll take a picture of it at some point and throw it on my thing or whatever. But it's definitely a good thing to have on my resume, so I'm pretty excited about that. But tomorrow I'm working at 9. We got a pretty rainy week, which we actually really need, so I don't know how many sunsets if we're going to get any this week, but we got quite a bit of rain coming in this week. Like I said, we kind of need that. It's been really dry over here. I'm definitely tired of sweating a little bit. I definitely need to work on getting some type of fan situation. that I can't buy batteries all the time. I have this one fan. It's a really, really nice fan. And it takes a Ryobi charger thingamajiggy, but I don't have a way to, and I have all that. I just don't have a way to, plug it in. Actually, I should start bringing it into work with me. That was smart. That's what I really need to do is bring it into work with me and then use it, so I can charge it. I'm sure they wouldn't care. But, and pick up some extra battery packs maybe or something, But it has a little mister on it too and everything. It's a really nice fan. Actually, the crazy lady that gave me the dog and took the dog away gave me the fan. They got the fan out of it, I guess. I miss the dog, but that was a good dog. I'm hoping, I'm going to probably wait till I get a boat, though. Once I have a boat, then this way at least I have, because I can't always, especially like I was doing today's job, I couldn't just leave the dog in the van. And definitely couldn't bring a dog in the building, so. Like I said, it's a really high-end place, so. Probably a good thing that I didn't, so. But once I get the boat, I can have solar and fans set up on it and everything's safe and cool and the dog will be fine. But for right now, just me. It gets kind of lonely out here, though. That's why having a dog was so nice, It's just, I don't feel alone all the time. You feel very alone when you're homeless, like nobody's, out there, nobody cares. And, that's why I do these. Like I said, it's a nice feeling just to know, people take their time out of their day to tune in and watch me and hear my story and follow my journey and, talk about their thing, their life as well. It's been very nice and it's been extremely appreciative. Hours are moving slow as a slug, but we're getting there. Eventually it'll be monetized. Like I said, the first part of the monetization really doesn't matter because it just opens up PayPal, Super Chats. And they take 30% of those and you don't get paid till the end of the month on those. So those aren't a huge deal. I prefer not those anyways because they take such a large cut. But memberships are kind of cool. And I will do something nice for our members. I haven't figured out what yet, but we're going to do something nice for that. Won't be a members-only chat or members-only videos because I don't like that. I don't like people should have to pay. But if people like to support the channel and see it grow, then there should be an option for that as well. So, and something that happens, something that's good for them. I haven't figured out what, but I'm going to look into ideas. If you guys have any ideas, maybe you guys can share those with me of what other channels do. But, like I said, it's just, I'm very thankful to, starting the picking up this commercial job is really, really big because, like I said, having these people are one buku rich, and having them as a client and them as a reference could lead to a whole lot of other things. So he's going to keep me busy pretty much most of the week. I've got Thursday. I've got to help somebody load up a pod. Besides that, I'm going to be at the research facility doing a lot of work on that building. And like I said, that building is massively beautiful and it's huge. It's not as much, it's a big complex. It's nice, and it'll be good. So this week and next week I should be pretty solid for everything and getting everything caught up. Like I said, I got to get the insurance paid. I've got to do all these things. Then I can finally work on getting the van taken care of and fixed and working right. And then after that, hopefully start saving towards the boat. My plates run out in June. And I don't have the title on me. I have to call the thing, but I'm just gonna auto renew my plates and have the sticker sent to my sister's house. She's like my sister, but not really my sister. She's a friend I have. I call her my sister. She's up north, up in Maine, and I can just have them sent to her, and then she can just mail them. I'll get a PO box and mail them to me. I think it's gonna be the best way, because if I register my car or the van in Florida, I've got to pay Florida insurance, which would double the price of the insurance on this van. So I'm gonna just keep it in Maine until they bug me about it, I guess. That's my plan. And there's just today's another day, and I made it, and I made it. Might only made $25 today, but that's enough to feed me for the whole day. That's food and drinks for the day that I'm not using out of the money that I had. So I'm slowly getting there. The first day was a lot of it was filling up his fuel tank, so it cost me, like I said, $100, a little over 100. Pretty soon I'll be able to get the insurance paid, either tomorrow or the next day. I should have that. I have till the 11th, and then I really need to at least get an oil change on here, and then get the turning signals plate fixed. The brakes are bad, but they're not completely gone out yet, thankfully. But I at least need to get the oil change in here. I haven't had one since Maine. We went from Maine to New Mexico to here and all around, and it's been crazy. A lot of driving, a lot of driving. So I got to keep this thing, in shape so it lasts, because if it breaks down, I'm kind of screwed. So that will hurt a lot of work. So I'm at least going to do that. Definitely got to get the turning signals, because I'm surprised I haven't got a ticket yet. I've been running without turning signals for, a month now almost, and haven't got pulled over yet. And I only have one that works. It's the front passenger side. Both back ones, I don't even think my brake, because they're hooked up, it's the same as the brake, and the turning signal, I think, is the same one. So I don't even think my brake lights work. I'm not sure. I really haven't checked it, but I believe it's the same. They run off the same bulb. But it's probably not the best thing. So I've got to really get those fixed. And it's a cheap fix. I just don't have the tools for it. So I've got to buy the light bulbs. And then I'm going to buy a little toolkit anyways. It's good to have one in case something happens. I can, pretty much fix anything on this van myself. So that's good. There's a copper. But cops, you know what? Here have been absolutely, haven't messed with me once. I stay to myself. I don't, I'm not drinking. I don't do any drugs. I stay to myself. I stay out of trouble. So I'm hoping staying, and being good and not doing anything bad or nothing, that they won't mess with me. I've been getting away with staying in the Wawa parking lot right now. I'm going to say a heads up to them, because I know they know I'm out here and they haven't complained. So God bless you, Wawa. I can't take that for an advantage, though, and they might say something eventually, but I've been here for quite a few nights, and that's helped me out a lot on fuel. The only thing that sucks is everybody wants to come to Wawa's at 1 o'clock in the morning and rev their engines and talk and party out in the parking lot, and that makes it fun when you get to work the next day. But the people here are amazing, and you know what? I got unlimited supply of coffee. I mean, it costs me money, of course, but I get to drink my coffee all day. On the days that I have money for it, at least. Which is nice to be working again, because now I can have coffee again. I love my coffee, so not having that for a while was hard, but I know I should be saving and not drinking coffee, but you know what? I'm drinking my coffee. I'm actually having a coffee right now. And so tomorrow I'm going back to the facility, and they had a different leak before that they had repaired, and I'm mudding up the repair job they did, where they took out the drywall, so I put new drywall in, repair that, gotta sand all that down for the last coat tomorrow, and then I can paint. And then we still got the building to clean out over there, which he said it's probably about a week's worth of work over there doing that. So and those will be longer days, so I'll be able to really get some stuff done coming up soon. I'll be very excited about that. And today was a short day, unfortunately, because of it would have been longer if the plumbing thing issue wasn't, because I got to paint that bathroom too. But now they found out they had a leak, so I can't paint the bathroom. We might have to tear up the floor where the leak happened, because it's all spongy now. Just a lot of work. They're great people. I'm very happy. It pays me cash every day, so that's always good. And slowly just got to keep my head above the water, and eventually I won't be homeless anymore. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take some, I'm going to have my bad days, and I'm going to have my sick days, and I'm running out of insulin again, so I've got to work on that, but, I've got to figure it out. It's all I can do. Unless I win the lottery, I'm pretty much going to be stuck in here for a long time, so. It's very expensive and hard to get out of this situation, especially with everything, the price of everything nowadays. It's so expensive. Fuel, food, everything is just getting unbearable, so it's very hard to save. Luckily I'm making enough right now to where I can eat twice a day. Before I was only eating once a day, if that, sometimes, and I lost a lot of weight. I'm very happy that I'm eating again. I'm hoping I can put back on some weight and be a little bit healthier, because I lost probably about 15 pounds. I'm already a skinny guy, so losing that amount of weight when you're already a skinny person is a lot. Not very healthy at all, but it's it is, you know, just another day and another dollar, and I'm pretty happy today. So, like I said, I got that pod job on Thursday too, so I gotta go out to Bradenton on that one. Make sure I have plenty of fuel for that. Probably. I'm trying to wait till, well, what day is, tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll wait till Wednesday and probably refill up again. This way I make sure. I really hate that the fuel gauge doesn't work in this van because I never know how much gas I have. I have to calculate it. I'm not the best at it, but I try my best. And so far I haven't ran out of gas, knock on wood. So I've been doing okay, but it'd be just really nice to know exactly how much gas I have in the van. And it just went up, like I said, 30 more cents a gallon. It's $4.29, well, 29.9 cents. It's like $4.30 a gallon. And it was just $3.99 yesterday, so. But we're almost $105 a barrel on oil right now, so, and that's going up steadily. We did start to recede quite a bit, a little bit the last few days, but then it just, last couple, well, prior to the last few days, and then it's just been going straight up. So crude oil is, I'm hoping with them releasing all those ships, hopefully through the strait or whatever, that'll bring it down a little bit. But we just get, the oil industry is so much in fear right now. It's just killing the prices, which is stupid because it's not even like we're low on oil. It's just the fear of being low on oil makes everything go skyrocket, But, nothing has a true price. It's only what somebody's willing to pay, and when things are more scarce, they go up in value, so. It is what it is. I don't know what happened at Reese's Pieces Cups, but, $3 for a pack of Reese's, which I don't eat very often, but they're my favorite candy. Every once in a while, especially when my sugar's low, I like to have one. And $3, over $3 for a Reese's Pieces Cup now. It's like, that's crazy. I remember when those things were 99 cents for a king pack. Soda used to be, which I don't drink a lot of anymore, but, a 2 liter used to be like $1.29. Now it's $4. It's just everything, It just went through the roof. You can't live off of, cheap stuff anymore because even the cheap stuff's expensive now. And their way to fix it is, let's raise minimum wage and do all this stuff. Well, that just makes the prices go even higher. So we need to figure out how it's supply and demand. If we have, and I am very sure there's not that's the only reason why anything should be as high as if it's low demand. I guarantee you there's not a low demand of Reese's Pieces Cups. The only reason why they're high is greed. People are willing to pay it. And, they were high before fuel went up. So you can't say blame it on shipping costs and all that, because actually fuel went down quite a bit. Fuel was down, pre-COVID prices. And COVID just jacked the prices up on everything. And it just, that's why a lot of people are in this situation, There's so many people who became homeless after COVID. And once you become homeless, it's so hard to get out. People don't realize the struggles and the cost of being homeless. It's horrible. I spend, for me to live a normal day is about $50 a day. That's fuel, that's food, that's 3 meals a day, that's drinks, that's everything, and that's not eating well. That's just eating regular cheap gas. Like I bought a ham and cheese sandwich and a coffee this morning. It was $10 for a small croissant sandwich and a coffee. Now you try, just say if you eat something small like that 3 times a day, that's $30 right there. And then driving back and forth to work plus moving around the van, that's another $10 in fuel. And then you have your drinks for the rest of the day, your water or whatnot, and that adds up. So it's about between $40 to $50 a day just to be homeless. That's not including your insurance. That's not including your phone bill and all that stuff, So that's, when you're only making, a little bit, or some people, like if they're living off Social Security or something like that, it's so hard, They don't figure out the price. You don't, I don't have a laundry facility at my, home. I live in a van. I don't have a bathroom. I don't have a way to cook. So everything I have to do has to either be pre-made or I'm eating out of the can. And you can't just live off that, especially with type 1 diabetes. You got to eat good, or it just really affects you. And I'm still not eating good the way I should, but I'm eating, at least meals, right now. Even that it just might be a sandwich here or a sandwich there, but it's something, It's just so hard to save. And then I've got to save on top of that. I've got, like I said, my insurance, and I've got my phone bill, and I've got things I've got to have to make sure I can have communications for work and fuel in the van and be able to legally drive. God forbid something happens to this van and it breaks down, because I don't have a contingency fund for that. But you've got to think of all that other stuff, because you're out. You can't go cook at home, so you're going to spend more to have it pre-made or something else. You can't do laundry at home, so you got to go spend money to go do that, let alone figuring out how to shower. So you have to pretty much get those baby wipes or whatever and clean up that way until because I can't get even a gym membership for a shower. Those add up. It's just every little thing is an extra fee on top of what you already have, and it's and then you have the whole fact that it's illegal in Florida to be homeless. You can do what I do, honestly, but I have a choice. I'm not going to, I do have a choice to where I go. I could go somewhere else, but I'm not. This is my home state. I should have every right to be in Florida. I was born and raised here. I spent most of my life here in Florida. But it's a very, very expensive thing to be homeless. And that's why it takes so long. People are always like, go do this, go do this. It's not that easy, put yourself in the situation, and then you try to do all those things, and see how fast you become unhomeless. Especially when you don't have family. I don't have a family. I don't have somebody I can say, hey, I need a place to crash, or hey, can I stay with you for why till I get on my feet? I don't have that. Or I don't have money for a meal. Can you help me out? I don't have a family that would do that. My family would see me rot and die on the streets before they would help me. And it's just how life is. But I still manage. I figure it out, and sometimes I've had help with you guys' support, and that's, amazing. And that's, that means the world to me. But you guys are the only family I got, And it is what it is. But on that note, it's, at least, I'm blessed to be where I'm at. I'm blessed to be warm. I'm blessed not to be cold anymore. I'm blessed to have this van. I'm blessed to be able to, find work recently. Every time I stressed out and thought I wasn't going to make it, something came along. I've just got to continue to remember things are going to, as long as I put the work in, it might take 6 months. It might take another, 6 to 8 months or whatever. But at least I'm making progress. At least I'm doing what I have to do to get out of being homeless. My biggest fears right now are of course, I've still got to figure out my health. My insulin is running. I'm almost out of that. I've got to figure that out. And whatever the sickness feeling I've been feeling for the last week has got to go away, because I'm about tired of falling over like that. I can't, especially in the first thing in the morning, I'm just so out of it. I've never been like that before. It's like you're always tired, to the point to where, I don't know, it's just weird. I wish I could explain how I feel right now, but last week I've been very sick. It's like that feeling of when you stayed up for 24 hours and your body's just shutting down. But it's like after I get a full night's sleep, I wake up and I feel like that all day, and I'm trying to work through it, and I do work through it. It makes it a lot rougher. But I don't care how bad I feel. I'm going to work. I've got to get out of this situation. I don't want to be. I've been homeless for 1.5 years now. I'm about tired of it. I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm gonna have to do it for another 6 months, but at least. But as long as I keep my goals, I'll make it through it, and that's what I've got to do, and I'm gonna make it through it. Nothing's gonna stop me. I don't care if, whatever problem I run into, I will find a way out of it, and that's all I can do, is keep my head up high and pray and hope that, things continue to look up. I can't take much more downs, I'll tell you that. My mind alone can't handle it. But I've got to figure it out, and I'm going to make it work. I wish I had, a home, but I don't right now, and I just got to do what it takes to get out of that. And it's just going to be a very expensive process. Because like I said, 40 to 50 bucks a day is a lot to take care of yourself. Yeah, it could be very much that too, Witness. I think a lot of it's my sugars have been very, very bad too. I mean, which even depression affects your sugars. Stress and makes them high. So I'm not in the right state of mind for any of this health stuff. But all I can do is the best I can do. Even if I've got to go to the emergency room to try to get insulin, that's what I'll do. Like I said, I'm pretty much running low. I have a few more days left, if that. But right now, I'm going to just wait till I run out, and if I'm going to I've been making a post. Somebody's supposed to help me out with insulin later on this week. I'm hoping they still do. I haven't heard back from them. If so, that'll be tremendous. That'll be at least a little bit less stress, because I can't use the Walmart vials. People keep saying, well, you can get insulin for $35 at Walmart. And yes, you can, but they're vials and they have to stay refrigerated. And I can't add another expense like ice every day to my already expensive days. I have to get out to my situation, so I have to get, like I said, I have to start, saving towards the insurance, which is due by the 11th, which I'll have. But if I add more things on top of it, it's going to make it even harder. Like having more than one meal a day and stuff like that, I can't add more. So I need a pen. They have to be the pens, because those you can leave out during the day and they don't spoil. And unfortunately, they do not offer the pens for $35. Those are hundreds of dollars. But I also can't run out of insulin. I'll die, literally. And you can't live without insulin. You will die. So it's kind of a big issue, but I'll figure it out, and I have so far. I haven't had a doctor in a long time, and I've still managed this far. So I've just got to, a lot of people have extra stuff especially when they're diabetics. They don't always, they get switched or something, or they don't, get. So a lot of people have helped me out with insulin, and it's been great. I just got to hopefully continue to figure something out till I can afford to, or make time. I was supposed to go to the doctor's today, but I ended up going to work instead. And I've got to put work first, and it's a walk-in area, so I can go any day. So I'm going to wait till the next day I have off. There's a free clinic on Saturdays too, so if I'm not working on Saturday, I can go to that one and try to see something to try to, there's got to be some type of program, some type of something that can help me with my insulin. But I can't afford to not work right now, so every day I don't work, then it's a day I don't eat, or a day I don't, closer to losing my insurance, or a day something, that goes wrong. So, and then I still, like I said, this van desperately needs work. I've got to come up with all that too, so it's like, I don't want to add anything extra, but I know I've got to take care of myself at the same time, or I'll have nothing at all if I get sick and end up in the hospital. So it's very stressful trying to figure that out. But every day I put work first. I have to right now, and I'll hopefully last on my health enough. Worst comes to worst, I'll go to the emergency room after work and get insulin and see if they can help me with something. I don't know, but I'll at least get insulin, even if it's just a shot for the day. I'll go to the emergency room every day if I got her to get a shot of insulin. They'll probably get sick and tired of me. That'd be very expensive, but I have to have it to live. It's not something you can just pick and choose to have. Insulin is unfortunately a life necessity. But I'm really blessed to find this, this neighborhood app, like a next door app, whatever. Like, I highly recommend that to everybody. I mean, they're an amazing thing that they made, and it's really put me to work, And like I said, I'm busy all week, almost. I think I have every day this week lined up already. Some of them aren't full days, some of them are only shorter days, but that's a day that even if I work just 2 hours, a day, that's $50 a day. That's my daily expense, so that's my goal. And if I've got to work 7 days a week right now, which right now I think I'm lined up for all weekend too, I think, I'll work it, I'll sleep when I get the stuff figured out. I just got to get it figured out, and I'm dreading being homeless, and I'm dreading every day. But I know if I don't do it, it's not going to get done, and that's what I've got to do. And it's an embarrassing thing being homeless. Just sitting in this parking lot, people look at you different. They know you're homeless. They see you here. The employees look at you different. It's just, it's shameful almost, but depressing and lonely. 10,000 horrible feelings, but every day that I go to work is, I know, a day closer to me not being homeless. And every day I don't find work, I know it's a day further away. So I'm blessed for every day that I'm working. So as long as I can stay busy, and it really helps my mind too, because just sitting in this van all day, especially how hot it gets, has been absolutely horrible. I'm going to tell you what, I will take this over the cold any day. When we're up north of Maine in the car, that was horrible. That was painful. This is just miserable. At least it's not painful. I'll take the miserable over the painful any day though. Because that hurt being cold. Yeah, I've just got to stay focused on my goals. And it's hard to stay focused all the time. And I do mess up and fall in depression a little bit and get sad or stressed out or angry. But I usually snap out of it. It's overwhelming, and it takes a lot to be home. A lot of I don't know, will, I guess, to keep going. And sometimes I feel like I can't do it, but I know I have to, and it's hard. And I'm only human, and I try to be as strong as I can through this, and not break down or not go into a super deep depression or whatnot. And just stay focused and continue to try. But like I said, I'm building a good clientele base here. It's slow moving, but the quality is there, which is good. The quality of my customers are amazing, which will help me in the future. And I could really be something big around here if I continue the way I'm going, and I could be back to where I was before, the money I was making before I became homeless. Because like I said, I owned my own company for 8 years, and I was making $1,000 a day easy. And I can do that again, It's just rebuilding everything takes a lot. And if I got to that again, that's, especially once I'm on a boat, I'm living a beautiful life. I'm living a very, very good life at that point. So that's my goal. And that's where I'm going to get back, and I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, because I liked my life I had before, and I just want it back. And I'm definitely going to do it. So the only thing stopping me is me. Oh, they say we're supposed to get some pretty bad storms, but I don't know what time. But I can't wait till hurricane season. I really want to do some storm chasing for those too. And that's one thing that's beautiful. When I work for myself, I can go do stuff like that if something happens, I just want my life back. I want the old me back, and and I can even improve that me by learning, through this experience that, I need to have the contingency plan that I didn't have, that, or I would have never ended up in this. I was making great money, but I spent it stupidly. Or, if I had saved like I should have, I would have never been in this spot. But now I realize that the valuable lesson in that, and I can do a whole lot better once I actually get on my feet. So, and sometimes it's unfortunate that it takes big life changes to understand and the respect of money that you didn't have, especially when you're doing so well for yourself prior, and then you go from that to nothing. It's a big change, It's a big lesson. But if it makes me a better man in the end, it makes me a better man in the end. And it's, I'll look back hopefully one day, and I'll realize that, the mistakes I made and how I can make it so that doesn't happen again. And do better for my future. As well as my daughters, my granddaughters, and all that. I'd like to eventually build so, where I have something for them when I go away. Right now I would have nothing, because I know I'm not going to live forever, but I'd like to eventually make a life for them as well, or help them for when I'm gone. Even if we're not talking at the moment, I still love the hell out of my kid. Hopefully she'll smarten up one day and get rid of that bad person she's with. I didn't even see it. Yeah, I know the all the protests, they end up getting pretty crappy, all over the place. I seen some stuff in Colorado, or is it Colorado or something like that? Chicago, sorry, Chicago. I guess they had some pretty bad incidents that happened in there too, but it's like, I don't know. With all that, crap I've got going on in my head, just watching people scream at each other over things and weird stuff is just something I haven't been able to do lately. And I apologize. I know we used to watch from the beginning, but I can't find it in me right now to do it. That, and I can't do it with the phone. I did try. It's just, I can't, I've got to focus on positive things right now, because I'm already in such a depression and such a bad area in my mind that if I watch bad things, it's going to just lead to bad things, make it worse. So, staying focused right now on my goals and this channel of being about, the adventure and quality of what's going on in my life is where it's going to stay at for right now. I don't think I'm going to do protests for a little while. I just can't. And honestly, it's not worth it anyways, because literally when we're restreaming, I can get, they can literally watch on another YouTube channel the same exact thing in real life or whatever, and I don't have the right setup for it. Even on my phone, I couldn't do it now. It's not as good quality as some, like, the setup that you need to have to actually do it like that. So yeah, I honestly, unless I see something like pop up on like my stream or something like that, I haven't unwind. It just got so depressing, It's like so many people hating each other and just yelling at each other all day. I just couldn't. It's too much right now, This world has so much hate in it. It just needs, I don't know. People don't realize how lucky they are until they lose everything, I guess, and that's one thing this has taught me is, respecting the things I used to have a lot more, and the value of money, the value of life, the value of just being there for each other. Like, like I said, you guys take your time out of your day just to watch me talk. That means a lot. The value of friendship, the value of responsibility. Life teaches you a whole lot of things, and sometimes you have to go through the worst just to realize how good you had it, and how to respect that, because I took it for granted when I was making great money. I thought nothing could hurt me, I thought I could, I was not invincible, but I was doing so well for myself, I didn't think I could ever be in this spot, and I am. And it wasn't because of drugs or alcohol or nothing like that. It's, I got sick, and I wasn't expecting to get sick, and now I've got to figure a way to get out of it. And even with, a lot of people, when they lose everything, they go into depression, they look towards drugs or alcohol, and I've been strong enough to never do that. So I'm very proud of myself to go through everything I have to do sober and not relying on anything. I smoke cigarettes, but whatever, I'd eventually want to quit that too, but one thing at a time. I would go crazy right now without them, though. I absolutely would. But everybody has their ways they deal with things in life, and I've been even though I'm in the situation I am, and being sick and homeless and all that other stuff, I'm still consider myself blessed to have the things that you have. Absolutely, witness. We've built something very special here too. Even if there's 5, 10, 15 people watching, and it reaches out to somebody and it makes a difference in their life, we're doing something good. We've built a good community of friends and a good community of people around us. Yeah, it's really, it's definitely great that he has a support system, and that truly matters, I think that's what makes it a lot harder for me, is I don't have that support system. But bless him that he has a good support system, and hopefully he'll find his way on his feet, and he just can't give up, having that is gonna mean the world to him. So make sure you're definitely there. You know, even if it's just checking in on him every day to make sure he's okay is something that really changes somebody's, you know, spirit. I think that's what makes it harder for me, because I don't have that. Unless I'm on this channel, I have nobody who looks at me and says, "Hey, are you okay?" But definitely be strong for him and show him that you're there. Whether it doesn't have to be financially, just mentally. It's huge on somebody's mind, you know. No, absolutely. It's very important, you know. All we have is what we have, and if we have nothing, it's very sad. It's very lonely, I tell you that. And just the thought of somebody checking in on you, it means the world to somebody, like I said. I sit here every day, and unless I'm on this channel, I think, you know, nobody else out there has ever, since I've been homeless, has asked me how I'm doing. My sister, my brother, my aunts and uncles that are alive and stuff like that. And granted, I've never really talked to them, but my sister and my brother, they don't check on me. You know, my mom, she doesn't check on me, not once in a year and a half, to see if I'm okay. So make sure, you know, you're there for them. That is very important. A simple hello means the world to somebody. But you know what? You know, I'm gonna come out of this, you know, and I'm gonna eventually have my boat, and that's my goal. I'm gonna save every penny till I get that boat. I'm gonna live on that boat, and I'm gonna have a good life. And I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna build my company. I'm gonna do everything I've got to do, and I'm gonna be right back where I was, but with a new sense of respect and a new sense of discipline in life that I know that I have to have, so I don't ever end up this way again. Because it's miserable. I mean, I'm out here every day in this van boiling and just hungry and not feeling good and all these things, and it's absolutely miserable and depressing, and, you know, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I do listen to music. Yeah, he's got, Jelly Roll went through some, a very hard life, and his music, you know, his music does mean a lot to a lot of people, because of the choices he made in life and the way he turned his life around. And he's not just a good singer, but he's a good, you know, he's a good state of mind now, where he can actually tell a story that hits more people than he realizes, probably. Very good man, very good talented person. I do enjoy his music, yes. Yeah, my mom left when I was 2, so I don't really know her very well. I mean, I met her again when I was 15, but that was for a little bit of time. And she was never a mom. She never wanted to be a mom, and it is what it is. I've never had you know, I grew up most of my life without a family, so I've never had the birthdays or the Christmases or the Thanksgivings or family outings. I never had any of that when I was younger or as an adult. So it's not something I really miss, but when you're in a situation like this, it definitely makes it harder, because you don't have that support system, you know, like a family should be. My family is just, they're not made to be a family, you know, and, you know, I think that's why I've strung to relationships so hard my whole life. And that's my bad problem, is dating the wrong woman, because of, you know, just wanting that family, just wanting that love, just wanting that appreciation that I take it from almost anybody. And I didn't really get to know the person, who they were, and I judged it on a whole bunch of different things that's really affected my life. And it's another lesson I've been learning, and how I need to fix myself before I worry about that, because I wanted a family so bad my whole life. That it's messed me up in my head a lot. But, you know, just another day, another lesson, I guess. But it is what it is. We can, you know, complain about it, or we can figure it out and move on. And I'm choosing to try to be as strong as I possibly can, and move forward with my life, and do what I can, you know, whatever it possibly takes to stay strong and keep moving forward. That's all I can do. It's a very loud parking lot. It's the only thing. Wait till if you hear it at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's so hard to sleep here. But I haven't got messed with, so that's why I've been sleeping in this parking lot. But everybody with their lifted trucks and their loud music and their everything wants to come here at like midnight, and it's a pain in the butt. But anyways, I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I appreciate everybody. If you guys would like to support the channel, the links are in the description, scrolling below, and the QR code is for PayPal. It's not expected, it's appreciated. Regardless, I'm just happy you guys tuned in. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all that happy jazz stuff for me. I will be back tomorrow. I've got to work tomorrow at 9. So that's my next step. And I'll let you guys know how that went tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night, guys.